is for continuous data.
Correct.
Okay, clear? When I do the problem, you'll be able to understand. These questions will come. That's what I'm saying. So two types of data. One is continuous data and another is discrete data. That is continuous data, we are going to compare average, that is mean. And another one is proportion. Discrete data, we are going to compare proportion. But then what is that we are comparing? With whom are we comparing? Can anyone tell me? What is the aim of this test? What is that we are doing in general? All the tests are only, we are doing only this, nothing but this. What is that we are doing? Tell me. You know what is population?
Whether the sample selected is correct or wrong.
Whether the sample selected is correct or wrong. You are saying correctly, very good. But what do you mean by correct or wrong?
Whether it is accurate or
No. We are not doing that. No, nothing will be accurate, right? Everything will be only approximate, right? The statistics itself is only approximate. We are giving only.
I mean,
that
the
is what they say.
confidence
No,
level.
100% confidence means Chandan Thakur will score only between 0 to 100. But nobody would like that. That answer will anybody like? Chandan Thakur himself will not like that. Will hate me. What? Yeah, right? Now, what I am telling you is, please note, this is very important. We are comparing, are you from this place or are you not from this place? That's all, right? What are we comparing? Are you from this population? Are you from this group or are you not from this group? Okay, group is the wrong term I'm using. This group is from this population or this group is from different population. So now I'll tell you two terms. What are the two terms? One is population, another is group, study group. Study group means I am selecting a few. Like for example, I want to find out the average speed of a driver in Chennai. What should I do? Average speed. Average speed is a continuous data. So I will have to ask one by one. Millions of drivers are there. Millions of data will be there. I have to find out the average. Then only I can tell average speed of a driver. Yes or no? But I don't have time for that. But still I have to give that. How will I give that? So I take a group. That is called study group. Clear? And then I take study group and then get the statistics. What is the statistics I will get? The average or proportion. These are the two things, right? Average we call it. In proportion also we find only average. That you will come to know a little later. But we will say at present average and proportion. From that, what we will do, I will estimate the population average. The average kilometer or average speed of the driver in city, right? Overall city, I will take only few places, Triplicane, some whatever place, Thenambed, Gopalpuram, like this. And then find out the population parameter. The average that I am calculating from the sample is called statistics. The average I am estimating of the population is called parameter. So I am taking the statistics and finding the parameter. I am taking the data from the sample. I am determining the characteristic about the population. Clear? Okay. This is what the test in all the things we are doing it. This is the only test and nothing but this test. Clear? Okay. Now I'm going to show you what are all the things. I'm going to select, say, Nirmal Kumar, and then say whether you belong to this group. Right? Or I'm going to select your group and then say that your group is belonging to the elite group or some other group. Right? Or I'm going to find two groups, one of this group, one of this evening batch group, and then both of them are from the same group, same population. Or these are having separate characteristic, those are having separate characteristic. That is what we are going to find out. Understood? Now I'm going to show you all the tests possible in the real life world. Everything will be covered in this one small site with a few words, and you should be able to appreciate that, follow that, and then we will go for the problems. Okay? Can I start sharing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Both disabled participant screen sharing. Hope he has not left it. He's still there too. Hamsapriya madam, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then allow me to share.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See here, decision on average, decision on average.
Sir, not sharing,
This-
sir.
I'm
Only
not
video
sharing.
is. Yes.
Oh. Now,
Yeah, yes, sir.
now, see decision on average, decision on mean, decision on mean. Only these are the tests we are going to do on average. One, we are going to compare with study group and population, right? One we are going to study with study group and population. You know what is study group and population? I take from the study group and then whether they are belonging to the same population. Okay, clear? And then what is the test I'm going to use? Is that test or t-test? Is that test or t-test? Another is, again, decision on average between two study groups. One group and another group. I'm not going to, they are from the same population or not. That is done by t-test. And then again, decision on average, more than two groups. More than two groups. Then what I'm doing? I'm using ANOVA test. Is it clear? Okay. We are going
Yes,
to
sir, yes.
compare mean. When it is only one sample, then I'm going to use Z test or T test. Any test can be used, right? Z test is more accurate. T test is approximate. Decision on mean, when I'm having two samples, then I have to use T test. This I call it as two sample T test. When I say just a sample test, that means proportion test. Okay. Mean test means I will use mean. Two sample mean test. When I say two sample test means that is proportion test. Right. Now decision on average again, if there are more than two groups, three or more groups, ANOVA test. Now coming back to the discrete values, discrete data, that is proportion. What we have to do is decision on proportion, study group was population, Z test. That is what proportion. This is proportion. I can't use T test here. Please note, with only one sample, if I want to compare with population, if it is proportion, I can use only Z test. But if it is average, I can use either Z test or T test. This is the only complication you will have to remember, right? Otherwise, this is easy to remember. Decision on proportion, two study group means Z test. More than two means chi-test. Okay? We will do an example for all these tests fast, except probably ANOVA test. Okay? We will see the problems. How will the problems be? Okay? The problem 1 and 2. Problem 1 and 2 is this test. Z test, T test is problem 1 and 2. This is test 3, problem 3. This is 4, 5, 6, and 7. Some order will be there. We will see one by one. So fat content in cooking oil is said to be 15% with a standard deviation of 2.6. A sample bottle of 12 bottles of cooking oil containing an average of 16.6% fat content. Is there a change in the average fat percentage at 5% significance level? Right? Please note, what is the problem? He says fat content in cooking oil is always said to be 15% with standard deviation 2.6. That means we have the data about the population. We have the data about the population. What does this say? Average fat content will be only 15%. So don't tell me that's a 15% proportion. No, it is an average fat content. Therefore, it is a continuous data. Standard deviation is 2.6 is given. Clear? Now, sample data also is given. What is the sample size?
12 bottles.
12. Very good. Right? So, what is the degree of freedom? 11. We need not use this. If we require, we will have to use it. Right? And cooking oil content average is 16.6%. So population average is 15%. I have got by a sample study 16.6%. Whether this is from the same population or not. Is there a significance in this? I think they have made a mistake. They are mixing water or something. They are making some probably whatever wrongdoings. We'll have to find out. Therefore, what we will do is we will use Z test here. Why I am using Z test? Because this population standard deviation is given. Now, second problem you see here, fat content in cooking oil is said to be 15%. Population data is known, only one data. What is average? Standard deviation is not known. Therefore, and the sample data is given here, same sample data. And sample data, this problem will not be given like this. Sample data will be given. But the sample data, you can find out standard deviation. Yes or no? Sample data is given means you can find out the standard deviation. Yes or no? If
Yes,
I give
sir.
you 1, 2, 3, you can find out the standard deviation. Right? Numbers. If I give you numbers, you can find out the standard deviation. Therefore, 12 data are there. So from the 12 data, you can find out the average, you can find out the standard deviation. That is what you have found out. Now you have to answer the same thing. Is there a change in the average fat percentage at 5% significance level? That means it has really changed or it has not changed. It is only by chance. It is only by chance, right? It is not going to be always. Therefore, population data is correct, but this is only a chance, not significant. Understood? Clear? Shall we do this problem first? Shall we do
Yes,
this
sir.
problem
Yes,
first?
sir. Yes, sir.
Or we will see all the problems and then do the problem one by one.
I will go one by one.
But okay, we will do this problem first, right? Okay, then what I will do is I will go to the right. See here, this is the data. Fat content in cooking oil average is 13. What did he say? What is the percentage he has told? Remember?
15%. 15%.
15%. Right. And the standard deviation is given as 2.6. And the data is given. All data only is given, right? Right. So total data is given. I will find the average. Average is obtained as sample mean is 13.33 and sample standard deviation is 1.7876. How I find it? I find it using this data. I can add all this data, divided by 12, I get 13.3. If I change this value, say I will take it as 12, then it is 13.2. And if I put 12 all, then it will be 12 and standard deviation is 0. Right? Therefore, all you need to do is you can just take the data, put the data and find the sample standard deviation. Now you know that is the Z value and T value will be obtained using some formula. We will do it in detail in the black belt course. The formula you can note down and then Z value is obtained 0.01. P value is low. P value is low means reject the null. Okay. P value is low means reject the null. From T distribution also, I'm getting the same thing. But please note, suppose this population standard deviation is not known. I'll put delete. Now what happened? So you will say that Z test is not possible because sigma is used here. In the formula, sigma is used here. Since sigma is not used, I'm using sample standard deviation and obtaining an approximate value and I got the same result. Clear? Okay. Suppose I make this as say 15 and then make it as all as 15. Oh God. And then make it as 15.2 and then this one as 14.8. Then what happens? See here Z test I'll put it as I'll put it as say population standard deviation. I'll put it as what do you call 0.1. Right. Then see here decision is fail to reject the null. Fail to reject the null. If I don't give also, if I don't give this also, then what it will say is Z test is not possible because population standard deviation is not otherwise not known. Otherwise we can use this T test formula. Now here what we'll have to do is we'll have to use degree of freedom. Degree of freedom is 11. Suppose I have one more data 14. Then what happens? Degree of freedom is 12. Clear? Shall I close it?
So just one note here, what is meant by degree of freedom?
Degree of freedom means, see, suppose there are 4 people. Now, 4 of us, and there are 4 chairs. There are 4 chairs. Now, first person goes there. He has a degree of freedom. He has a choice to make. Yes or no?
Yes.
He can take any one of. The second person goes. Now he can make any one of the remaining 3 chairs. Yes or no?
Yes.
And the third person goes. He can also make a choice. Degree of freedom is there. He can take any one of the 2 chairs. Yes or no?
Yes.
The fourth person, is he having any freedom?
No.
No. Therefore, n minus 1 is the degree of freedom. Clear? There 12 data are there. 11 data is can be any values. But if the 11 data are filled, the 12th data will automatically be only that much. Okay? Clear?
We will not consider in calculation 12th data.
This calculated?
We cannot consider the 12th data.
No. I know what is degree of freedom? You asked, I said, what is degree of freedom? Right? You have understood degree of freedom, yes or no?
Yes, understood now. But
Yes.
the calculation, how we are using this degree of freedom like that.
How you are using degree of freedom, right? That is, you let to see the graph. Please note, I am using a formula. It is a formula. P value is a function of T value and degree of freedom. Okay? It is a function. Clear? And that function formula also I'll give you once again. No, it is not there. Probably I'll show you the function also, right? T value, T distribution. I'll show you. Remind me. After about 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, I'll give you the formula. Okay? Clear? Z distribution is like this. Z distribution, you'll have to take it from the table. T distribution will be like this. Similar to this, T distribution is a function of, for each degree of freedom, you will have one curve. Normal distribution, you have got only one Bible, only one curve. Whereas T distribution, for each degree of freedom, you will have a standard curve. Okay? Clear? Now, can I go to the next slide? Don't save, I'll put. Then what we will do is, we will go to the problem 3 and 4. Where is problem 3 and 4? Yeah. Problem 3. On an average, 6.5% of the houses were making a purchase of our product. That is,
Occupy stage living purpose.
yes. Yes. On an average, 6.5% of the houses were making a purchases of our product. That is, for 1,000 houses, it will be 65. Okay. And we mail our advertisement to 1,000 houses for a new product, and 87 of them purchase the product.
2 BHK.
Without my forcing you, 20 people joined the course. With my advertisement, about 25 people joined. So now whether RK's effort to pull more participants is really significant or not, right? That is what is the question. Here is a proportion. That is 6.5% of the houses means 65 out of 1,000 made purchases. But when I made an advertisement, the advertisement has a significant effect or not. That is what I want to find out. 1,000 people I sent, and then only 87 of them have purchased. Now, is there a significant difference in response rate because of the mail advertisement? Is this increase is because of my mail advertisement or not? For this question, you obviously know, yes, sir, because 65 where is 67, 65 where is 87. But that is what we are going to get the answer. Okay. Now, we will see another question. This question is, purchase data of the customers indicate the number of women, number of men who made purchases and who did not purchase any. At 5% significance level, click whether the suggestions that women will buy and men won't is valid. Understand? What he does was, he stands in a mall. I stand in a mall. And then I see everybody, he's a male or female. And then I'm asking him, did you make a purchase? Right? Then he will say, he or she will say, yes or no. So I will note down. You can see it in textile shop. This is how the data will be collected. I will show you how the data will be collected. I will show you here. What is this? I said promotion effect, male, female, right? There is 4. Right. This is how male, female. So he will ask, I will ask a question, did not buy, he will say, bought, he will say, or anything he will say. Likewise, female also will say did not buy or bought. Any one of these things, she will say. Now you see the data. Yes or no? Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This data, this is called crude data. Then I will use a code. What is the code? I will say did not buy means 1. Bought means 0. Likewise. Yeah. So this is how it is taken. And then 3, 1. So this is first data. Third problem. This is the data. I have made advertisement, no? Then I am checking whether they have purchased or not. Whether they purchase or they don't purchase. See the difference between the previous one, this one. In this case, it is one sample only. Yes or no? In this case, it is one sample. The previous case, it was. The previous case, it was. The previous case, it was what? The previous case, purchase consumers.
Yeah.
Male, female. 2 proportions. Yes or no? One sample, male. Another sample is female. Right? In this case. But whereas, in the first case, this is number of purchase data. That is whether he is purchased or not. Male or female, I am not bothered. It is household. This is called one proportion data. Here I am comparing this with the population. In the other case, I am comparing with the two. I am comparing 2 different groups. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Problem is understood?
Yes.
We are studying proportion. We are studying for one group with population, and we are studying 2 different groups against each other. Therefore, what I will do is I will close this. And here, these are the 2 questions. That is, families, only one sample. They are purchasing or not purchasing. Here, women, they are purchased. Women, they are purchased or not. So what we will do is, we will try to do this problem by Excel method. Right. See this? The first question. A direct mail firm wants to determine if the mail advertisements result in a response rate different from the national average of 6.5%. That is what I said. In a different way, I said, right? A random of 1,000 households chosen to receive advertisement. I sent advertisements. Out of them, 87 made purchases. Researchers decided to use the test and interval based on the normal distribution. That's all. Whether the advertisement has a significant effect or not. What is the null hypothesis? No difference. That is, proportion of purchase is only 0.065. Please note, I have to use proportion. I should not use 6.5. I am using 0.065. What is alternate hypothesis? Not equal to 0.065. Clear? The formula here is, the Z is obtained PS minus P naught divided by the standard error. The standard error formula is here. Please note, this is the sample proportion is how much? 87. Number of data is 1000. Population proportion is 0.065. Therefore, this is 0.087. This is 0.065. This is 0.065. This is 1000. We can find out Z value. Once we find out Z value, we can find out the P value. Once we find the P value, we can decide whether it is to be rejected or null is to be rejected or not. We always make a decision only on null hypothesis. Okay? We always make a decision only on null hypothesis. So we are rejecting the null here because P value is very low. Suppose I put it as here, it is 0.07. 0.07. See here, the P value is, Z is calculated, and then the P value is low, P value is high, greater than 0.05, therefore fail to reject the null. So now you know how we got it? What is the denominator here? Population proportion. In the second question, what is the second question? See, in the second question, I have taken 2 groups, male group and female group. The proportion is, 2 proportions are there. One is 58 out of 480, another is 152 out of 740. which proportion I should take? Proportion I have to take the combined proportion. Population proportion means I have to take only one value, because what is null hypothesis? Population proportion does not change. So I have to take only one population proportion. In the previous case, we got the population proportion as one value, but in this case, we are getting two proportions. What are the two proportions? See here, 0.77 and 0.79, or 0.23 and 0.205. What is this? Male sample did not by proportion is 0.77, by proportion is 0.23. You can use any proportion and do the problem, you'll get the same answer. And then for woman, did not by proportion is 0.79, did not by proportion is 0.20. So what is this P naught I should take? What is the null hypothesis? Null hypothesis is PW is equal to PM. That is P naught always. Whether I should take PW or PM, I have a question. Therefore, I use a combined proportion. P combined is together I find out what is the proportion. I will use the proportion and then find out the Z value. Once I find the Z value, P value is obtained, and then based on P value, you take a decision, reject the null or fail. Okay. Suppose I'm just going to make here 400. Right. I'll make it as 200. See, has changed. That is, reject the null. Proportion of woman differs from proportion of men. That is significant. We have to look into this. This is how you get the data. What is the raw data will be like? Raw data will be like this. I'm using a code, and then I'm totaling it, and then making a summary. And this summary, I'm using it in this test. Understood? Clear? Okay? Yes or no? Any problem? See, in this case, I have the population deviation proportion given. Therefore, I null hypothesis, it is population proportion. In this case, which value I should take as population proportion? P woman or P woman? P men. Therefore, I find out a combined proportion. How do I find the combined proportion? See here, 422 plus 588 divided by 480 plus 740. That is what is 0.172. Right? Bought proportion is, one proportion is 0.828 and bought proportion is 0.172. If you want, you can check it up. So total is 1220, did not buy is 1010, therefore 0.83 is the proportion. And bought is 210, 152 plus 58 is 210, proportion is 0.17, 210 by 1220. And this data is what is used as population proportion, and then that is PC is used. In the numerator, the difference, PW minus Pman. And then use the formula, get the Z value. Once you get the Z value, go to the normal distribution table. For the X value, find out the right extreme value. That is the P value. If this is lower, reject the null. If it is higher, fail to reject the null. That's all. Right? Shall I close it?
Sir, if it is P value more than 5 only, we need to cancel the project now.
P value is 0.05. Please note, there is no cancellation of project nor this thing. This is only a question of continuation of the project or look into the significant difference that we have found out. Understood? That is why I said the students will know it, use it very, very usefully. How? If they want to make a PhD, they have to say, this is more important, this factor is more important. Right? That how will they find out? They do this test and then it will be significant. Fail to reject the null means, that means the extra factor considered is very important, significant, that has influenced the result. Now here, the women have influenced the result. Women are more preferable to purchase than men. That is what we are saying. We are finding out a conclusion. What is the conclusion? Men and women are having the same purchase level, or women are tending to purchase more. That's all. Right? If women are tending to purchase more, then we fail to reject the null. If both of them are equal, then you'll have, see, that is what is there here. See, I'll make it as 400. This is there. Therefore, fail to reject the null. But suppose female I make it as 750, right? Because lower reject the null. Because female or predominant, female tend to purchase more. Proportion of purchasing is that more than 750 I should not take. I should take 730, right? So 98% of the people prefer, whereas only 83% prefer purchasing. This is the decision you are making. Now this again you will have to look into further with more studies, sample studies. Clear? We are taking a decision whether what is assumed is okay or what is assumed is to be rejected. That's all. We can take only that decision, nothing else. If what is assumed to be rejected, what is assumed is rejected, that means the alternate hypothesis needs to be looked into because it is significant. Right? I told in the morning, no? If all of you get 94, it is significant. I have to look into what is the problem. Clear? So shall I close it? Okay?
Okay.
Okay, students.
Okay. So we have done one problem, two problem. The first problem, the second problem, what we did? Comparing the average of a sample group with the population. Here again, we are comparing a sample group with the population, but for proportion. That is why we call it as a one sample proportion test. And then here we are comparing two groups, two different groups, and then say whether both of them are having the same characteristic. Having the same characteristic means same population. Different characteristic means different population. That's all. Right? Clear? Now we'll go to the last problem. A company has 4 regional offices. Region, north, south, east, and west. We want to find out whether they are performing at the same level. Whether they are performing at the same level. So what they do is, they are finding out the applications from them. And then they are finding out the defective application. Northern region, out of 200 applications received, 25 were defective. And out of 200, 21 were defective south. There are different number of defectives from each region. But I want to know whether it is really significant or not. All the regions are performing same or differently performing. Somebody is worstly performing. So therefore, even though the numbers are different, this is not giving me a correct conclusion. Therefore, I will have to find out which is better or all are same, right? Or which is worst and all are same. Please see here, defectives 25 means non-defectives 200 minus 175. South means 200 total. Defectives 21 means non-defectives 179. Now the data for this will be like this. Is there a defective chi-square test is there? Is there any chi-square test? Yeah, you will see this. See, north, south, east, west. That means if there is a defective, I'll mark it as 1. If there is no defective, I'll mark it as 0. This is called coding. Because you have to ultimately convert into numbers. Only with numbers you can make a decision. Simply making statements, you can't make any decision. Convert this into number, you can make a decision. Okay? Clear? And that is what we have done. 0 and 1. And then I just total it. I'll find out how many ones are there. Total so many defectives are there. Okay? Therefore, what I will do is we'll try to solve this problem. Problem is very clear. Problem is very clear. More than 2 regions, we want to compare the proportion. More than 2 means chi-square test. So we'll try to do chi-square test now. See here. This is the data. I am converting this raw data into this useful data using code, converting this into useful summary. Using this data here, the table, I am finding out. This is same as what we do in the normal table, right? We are finding out the deviation, observed value, expected value. What is expected value? We are finding out the total observations. 26, 21, 22, 17. I am adding, dividing by 4. That is called 21.5. That is assumption, no? Null hypothesis. What is null hypothesis? Proportion will be same. That is so. Similarly, non-defective also, I add it up all and then put the value. find the deviation, square it, that is called variance, and then divide by ratio is the best. Those who have attended my Tuesday class will know coefficient of variation is the best. And that is what we have got obtained here. And then add it up. This is called chi-squared. Degree of freedom is required. Only for normal distribution, it is not required. For chi distribution, t distribution and all, the degree of freedom is essential. What is degree of freedom? There are 4 regions. Therefore, degree of freedom is 4 minus 1, 3. And p value for this chi value and degree of freedom is 0.54. There is a formula given in Excel sheet. You can do it. On a Tuesday class, I will tell you. You can use that formula and then get it done. In 1 second, you can get it. And decision is fail to reject. Suppose we want to reject the null. I can make purposely my south region, I will make it as worst. I'll make this as 1. And then make more number of ones. That means more number of defectives. See here, there is a significant difference among the region. We know why. Because I have purposely made south to be worst behavior. So here, p value is 0.02, less than 0.05. Therefore, reject the null. Therefore, it is significant. What is significant? Alternate hypothesis. What is alternate hypothesis? There is a significant difference among the regions. What is null hypothesis? There is no difference among the regions.
Then we can
Yeah.
tell, hello, sir.
Yes, ma?
If reject null less than 0.5 means whatever the decision we are making is correct. Correct, sir.
No, if the decision, if p value is low means the null hypothesis assumption is incorrect. Right?
So actually, the word what we're calling it reject to null and fail to reject looks like similar. So that we are getting confusion on that word, particular word.
One
It's fail
second.
to reject and reject.
Fail to reject means accept. Right? Fail to reject means accept.
Sir, actually, p value is
Now, 1 second. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Suppose you score high values, I will accept you or not. I'll accept you for green belt. Yes or no?
Yes,
If you
sir.
score less values, less than 30 marks, will I accept you? Not.
No.
Same way.
No.
If p value is high, you accept. If p value is low, reject.
Sir,
Okay.
actually, Gopal sir told if p value is less than 5%, kindly ignore the null.
Kindly.
Ignore the null hypothesis.
No. He would not do that. Right? Okay. If it is low, go. That is what the motto he would have said. Right?
Then
He
p value,
certainly would not have said, yeah.
sir,
Please
if we-
clear. Now, even if he says, please make a correction here, you would have not.
No, what is the confusion? What is the, let me come here. What is the confusion?
sir, if p value coming less than 5% means we need to correct the decision making, correct, sir?
When p value is less than 5%, you can now reject the null. What is null? What you believed so far. So your findings, your suspects, may be correct, but you need to look at the data. P value low means your data is speaking the fact. But what is the fact? You look at the data. You understand? You read the data and take decision based on the data. That is what p value less than 5% means. When p value more than 5%, you get, even if data says, you have to ignore it. Do you get my answer?
Sir, 1 second, sir.
When p value is less than 5%,
Okay.
you reject the null hypothesis because your data is giving a factual information. There is a statistical significance in your data. So believe the data, reject the null, and then proceed further. But when p value is more than 5%, no statistical significance, don't believe the data, you should not proceed further based on this data. Better scrap the study, that's all. Clear?
Okay. If
Scrap the study, right? Don't say scrap the project and all, right? Okay,
Yeah.
don't do further. Whatever is assumed is okay. That's all. Let it continue. See, for example, I am giving you milk bottle, 500 grams of milk. And I commit that it contains 500 grams of milk every bottle. You do a sample study. You take 12 bottles of milk from RK, and then it contains only 400 grams of milk. then what you will say? You make a claim that is called alternate hypothesis. What you will say? Sir, it is not 500. You are cheating. RK, you are cheating. That is null hypothesis, alternate hypothesis. What is null hypothesis? No, I am giving only 500 grams, right? It is always equal, right? Now, the p-value, if you find out, if your p-value is low, then RK is okay. Ignore your command. That is what he says. Ignore your command. RK is okay means we should ignore you. But don't bother about these things. Bother about only RK. RK is correct or not correct. That's all. Right? If RK is correct, you are incorrect. Those are all beyond. They are not. If you do that only, you are getting confused. Don't do that. We take a decision only about RK now. We take a decision only about null hypothesis now. Null hypothesis, always an equal to sign will be there. Note down. What sign will be there? What sign will be there?
Equal.
Equal to sign will be there. Whatever statement you say, I will make it as an equal to statement. Right? And alternate hypothesis will never contain an equal to sign. Alternate hypothesis will never contain an equal sign. Equal sign will not be there in alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis will always have an equal sign. Therefore, we accept that it is equal, or you reject that it is not equal. Right? Okay. So what decision? We are taking a decision on what hypothesis? We are making a decision always on what hypothesis?
Null hypothesis.
Null hypothesis.
Yeah, I confidently tell. So again, I will asking you. We are making a decision on alternate hypothesis. True or false?
False.
False. That's all. Right? Null hypothesis always will have equal sign. True or false?
True.
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 And alternate hypothesis will never contain an equal sign. True or false?
True.
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 Right? Alternate hypothesis sometimes may contain an equal sign. True or false?
False.
False. That's all. You have understood. Now, when P is low, reject the null. That means P has scored low marks. P has scored less than 0.05, 5 marks. Right? So if P has scored lower marks, reject the null. If P has scored more than 5.05, then fail to reject the null. Right? Okay. Now, we reject the null means what? This is significant. We should not ignore this. We should not ignore the south region. Suppose I make this as previously. Now here, fail to reject the null. Now, we can ignore this difference as, right? We can ignore this difference as. But these are all only conclusions. You are not supposed to tell this, even though I'm telling you because you are thinking about this. That may be true or may not be. That's all. But the thing is, decision taken on null hypothesis is only correct. Decision made on alternate hypothesis based on what I state is incorrect. Okay.
So one
I am
question.
saying I am good. I am saying I am good. Now suppose you find a p-value and then say p-value is low. P-value is low means what? You reject the null. That means RK is not good. RK is good is rejected. But RK is not good. It is not correct. RK is good is rejected. That's all. RK is bad or not, you cannot make a decision. RK is bad is the alternate hypothesis. So RK is good, you are assuming p-value is low. Therefore, you say that I reject the null. I reject the statement that RK is good. But that doesn't mean that RK is bad. Right? You can extend, but that is not correct. That is not valid here. You have to prove that I am not good. You have to prove that I am not good. Okay?
RK sir.
Yes.
One quick question. Now you
Yes.
said p-value is low, reject the null. So if p-value is
P-value is
more
low.
than
Yes. Yes.
so if p-value is higher, more than 5, should I accept
Yeah.
the null? Will that statement be correct?
Yeah, that is what I am saying. It is not correct because who are you to accept? Who are you to give the what do you call the certificate for that? Right? You have not got any certificate. It is okay. I don't reject it. That's all. It may be true or not. Everything is to be proved only by studies. Clear?
Yeah.
Fail to reject means I am not rejecting. It is so or not. See, we are assuming that RK is good first. It is only assumption. Yes or no?
Yes.
We are making an assumption. Null hypothesis is a statement. It is an assumption. I am making a commitment that whatever milk bottle I am giving you is going to contain 500 grams of milk. I am giving that for the past 10 years. Therefore, it has made the Bible-like thing, right? So everybody is accepting or everybody is acknowledging that. That's all. It is true or not, we'll have to find out. But it is not true because somebody has found out. Some student has found out that RK, I have taken 12 bottles, it is not containing 500 grams. Yes, said. But then we are going to make a study hypothesis test based on that. Found out that p-value is low or high. If p-value is low, reject. That is 500 grams is not correct. That is what you are going to say. I am saying that 500 grams is correct, is going to be rejected. Right? What value you have to find out. Right? Clear? So assume this, make this very two clear statement. I say all other statements you have no authority. The two statements on which you have authority is decision is made on null hypothesis, whether you reject or fail to reject. That's all. Okay.
Sir, we're making some data access that's north, south, east, 1, 0. This is count of 200 or 26. How many data?
200. 200. See, is put now. Total is 200, 200, 200. Total is 800.
Yeah, sir. So is that whatever data comes, we are changing like this means it will like a count, right? Discrete data.
Yes. That is why chi-distribution.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Very good. Thank you very much. That means others also down us. Please discuss in your WhatsApp group and then discuss all these things. Okay. I think I'll stop with this. One T distribution is there. I think I'll cover that also.
Sir,
before.
I'll do it